Now go to sleep in chasms deep, with darkness all around you. Though rock and dread may be your bed, so sleep, my baby dear. Now comes the storm, but you'll be warm, the wind will rock your basket. The crystals fine will glow sublime, and with a song you'll sleep, my baby dear. When I read this lullaby and why it was read in this book, it was absolutely amazing. Wow, what a reveal. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're with Chris, and today I'm bringing to you part 4 of my epic reading vlog for Words of Radiance by Mr. Brandon Sanderson. I am almost at the end and cannot wait until I finish. This part was a real trip with a lot of questions answered and a lot of reveals. It was just absolutely... I just could not get enough. I kept turning those pages. I just had to find out what happens. So I'll start by talking about the interludes that precede part 4 in the book, because they're very interesting to read about, especially when I discovered a new character called Lift, who she reminds me of Vin from Mistborn when she was during her early days as a street urchin. She's very, very similar. She has a unique gift, which is very, very handy when she gets into a tight spot, but she is cheeky. She's impetuous and she's brave, and even though she's very little, the way she draws her stormlight for her powers is very, very original. And the best thing about the character, I liked her straight away. She is just amazing, and I'm really, really happy that I get to read her in her own story in Edge Dancer, the novella, which I'll be reading straight after this book, let me tell you, because I want to find out a bit more about her and how she came to be how she is, which is going to be very, very interesting. We got to see a little bit about Zeth, the assassin in white, and his inner monologue and what he's feeling and thinking, which is all very interesting, and we get to know what Eshene has planned. She is the warband leader of the Parshendi tribe, and what she's got in the works in terms of a plan is diabolical, and I just can't wait to see how everything pans out. Okay, so let's start with the dynamic between Kaladin and Adolin. I found it was great that they bonded over an experience they shared in recent times, and they now are very good friends. At the beginning, when they met each other, they hated each other and despised each other, but this experience that they shared has actually unified them in a really good way, so much so that they're the best of friends now, and they exchange quips back and forth, which is very, very fun to read about. And there is a lot of mutual respect between the two now, because Adolin knows that he can rely on Kaladin in a tough spot, and Kaladin would not hesitate to lay down his life in order to save Adolin, and the same applies the other way, which that was really, really heartwarming to read about the two characters coming together like that. Now, there's something being planned in the background in relation to the leadership of the Elhokar Kingdom. So this plan or plot is going to have earth-shattering impacts on everyone. I don't know how I feel about it myself. It seems justified and for the greater good, but there is a lot of ramifications with something like this happening, and I just don't know what will happen. There is a potential earth-shattering result, which I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, so I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet, but I am looking forward to finding out what actually happens with that part of the story. Okay, love that we got more backstory for Shallan, and it's just brilliant how all through the book you don't just get the flashbacks within a chapter that distracts from the main story. Brandon Sanderson keeps them all separate, and it's very, very clear. It says 12 months ago, 15 months ago, or a year and a half ago, or what have you, so that you know you're in the flashback. And it's like I said in the last video, it's like an episode of Lost where you hear the rumble and then you go back in time to Shallan's recent past and find out everything that culminated to happen in terms of the fall of the Devar house. And what actually happened is earth-shattering. When I read about it, I just thought, oh my God, what a moment, and how it was described, and what actually happened in Shallan's past is, you just have a newfound respect for her, and it makes you appreciate her character all the more. But I'm really enjoying the flashbacks. They're planted strategically throughout the book, so it doesn't distract you from the main story, and I find that absolutely brilliant. And the same thing happened with Kaladin in Way of Kings. He did the same thing, where we got to know Kaladin's past through the flashbacks that way as well, and I think there's no better way to weave that into the story the way Brandon Sanderson did. It just makes it all the more special to get to know the character that way. Okay, now the appearance of Wit, the King's Fool or Jester or whatever, is great. I always like reading about him because to the people he likes and respects, he has a very benevolent presence, and he always insults people he doesn't like. And it's interesting how the people he does like are the key characters that you love, who are there for greater reasons, and then people that he doesn't like and throws insults at, you know that they're not really nice people. So I think Wit has everyone's best interests at heart, and he knows a lot of knowledge. If people have read the book, know exactly what I'm talking about here, and he is an intriguing character. Don't know what his motives are, but it's all very mysterious, and I just really like it when he has his walk-on role on the page. We also get a look at Kaladin and Shallan finally integrating and playing off each other with a really brilliant verbal dynamic. They are both faced in a dire situation that they have to navigate their way through together, so they're thrown into a perilous situation where they have to work together and use teamwork. Initially they were very offstandish towards one another, because when Shallan entered the Shattered Plains, Kaladin was very, very suspicious of her intentions with Adolin, the prince, and obviously he is feeling very protective of Adolin and wants to know what her motives are. And there are a lot of reveals in this part when they're exchanging verbal quips and insults at each other before getting to know each other, resulting in them both coming out of this particular situation with a newfound respect for each other and sharing secrets. So in a way, they have bonded very well, which I think for the story moving forward is going to be very crucial if my assumptions are correct. But it was very, very good to read about how they worked together during this dire situation, which was nail-biting. It was very, very exciting and stressful, and all happened in the middle of a high storm, which was just added more tension to it, and you just root for these characters to get out of this situation, which is absolutely fantastic. But the ending of part 4 was great. Things wind down a little bit with resolutions of certain events, and it's just great that everything is poised, ready for the final act. So it's the calm before the storm, if you will, no pun intended. So it's just a deep breath before that final push towards the end. So I've probably got about 200 or 300 pages to go before I am finished, which I'm predicting it's going to be a late finish tonight for me. I'm filming this on a Thursday, and I've got a couple of engagements after work hours, but I'm predicting a late night tonight just to get the thing finished, because if things are going to go the way I think they are, I'm not going to be able to resist it. And this book is probably the first book ever that I have thought about getting through to the end by taking a no-dose tablet, a caffeine tablet, to get me through, because I don't want to be sleepy towards the end of the book. I want to finish it, and I want a book hangover for Friday, because the book is just absolutely sensational. It's taken me nearly 2 weeks to read, but I've just immersed myself in it. I've taken my time with it and just enjoyed the story and the characters, and I'm just so glad to be reading about them again. So the next time I speak about the book, it will be in part 5 of the reading vlog, and it will wrap everything up, and I'm so looking forward to sharing all my views and thoughts and impressions with you on what I finally think of the book. But as it stands at the moment, guys, you know how much I love The Way of Kings. Words of Radiance has gone up a level for me, and it's not hard to see why it's the highest rated fantasy book on Goodreads. It is just absolutely amazing. I cannot fault Brandon Sanderson's writing. He always looks after his fans. He knows what his readers want. You get your questions answered fairly timely, and he's just so good at what he does. And there's a reason why he has become one of my all-time favourite contemporary authors, and I just can't wait to continue my Cosme journey with other stuff. But yeah, that is it for my part 4 of the reading vlog for Words of Radiance. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, offer up any comments below as per usual, and I'll try and deliver the best content I can. And until the next video, guys, which will most likely be part 5, happy reading.